Well, it was the fourth day in a row that England recorded a temperature in excess of 34 Celsius. This was the scene at Inches Retail Park in Inverness yesterday afternoon. Flood and rainfall across many portions of the Inverness area during the course of yesterday afternoon, all thanks to the beginning of what will be the eventual breakdown of this heatwave. Temperatures certainly will be significantly lower across, particularly the Midlands, Northern England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, as opposed to yesterday. We will still see a day of 30 degrees in the south of England, and that will mark over a week of consecutive days over 30 Celsius. Now, I did record two videos, in fact, yesterday evening from Mallaig Harbour. But unfortunately, I don't know whether it's the internet or whether it's something else with regards to screencast. But I just couldn't get the video done last night. It was a wee bit frustrating because I do like to get a daily video done, but that was not the case yesterday. So just giving you a bit of an explanation as to why there was no video yesterday. It's frustrating, especially when you do have plenty of weather going on. But this was the scene, by the way, yesterday morning, actually, that I captured driving up through the Highlands. And it was a fabulous morning. This was captured just over the River Spey with the backdrop of the Cairngorms behind. Fantastic morning indeed. But certainly as the afternoon wore on, the instability grew and we seen storm clouds over Inverness. This was a scene captured in the Inverness area yesterday afternoon. Spectacular shelf cloud, something you don't often see in Scotland, really, but even more so across the north of Scotland. You typically get this over the near continent and southern England, where you've got more heat and instability typically within the atmosphere. But we had a few roof failures in Inverness, as well as the flooding out in the car park. This was the scene at the Tesco in Inches Retail Park as well. As you can see here, water running along the floor, damage of course to produce. There was an evacuation of the store which was successfully taken place yesterday, and we also seen the View Cinema in Inverness also get evacuated because of flooding coming through the roof, as you can see here. This was the rainfall radar yesterday afternoon. So actually, this was the cell here that produced the flood and rainfall in Inverness. Basically, an area of convection running from southwest to northeast up through the Glen and through Inverness and off the Caithness coast, as you can see here. Lightning was certainly very active, not just yesterday afternoon, as that mesoscale convective complex pushed through the Inverness area, but in fact, driving from Mallaig down through Fort William, Crianlarich, Tindrum, Stirling, quite often there was flashes of lightning. I noticed yesterday, during the overnight last night. So certainly it was quite an energetic atmosphere, very unstable atmosphere. And you can see here that this was the radar capture from yesterday afternoon. Frontal system associated with low pressure up towards the Norwegian Sea. And of course, as that moved into the hot, humid air, we seen the showers and thunderstorms blow up. This is the temperatures across Europe yesterday. We did see a downward trend in temperature across France, interesting enough, an upward trend in temperature across Iberia, all thanks to low pressure over France. That is now going to be pushing up into the UK. It's going to wipe out the heat across pretty much all of the British Isles. But in turn, as that area of low pressure lifts north, will then start to build heights and the heat across Iberia over the next several days here. So these were the maximum temperatures during the course of yesterday across the British Isles. It was a fresh afternoon across the northwest. Well, actually, temperatures nudged up to 24 in both Loch Liscarnock and Altnahara. Only 17 in Tain, 28 Celsius in both Aviemore and close to that in Aboyne, and then kind of upper 20s across the south of England. South of Scotland, and then of course we also seen upper 20s in Ireland as well. 34 degrees was another maximum for England and the UK as a whole. Looking at the upper air pattern here, you can see here this is the overview chart of the GFS. You've got low pressure, then bringing some fairly disturbed weather across France. Very, very welcome news indeed. We've got an area of low pressure here, as you can see, two areas of low pressure, in fact, that is going to be having significant influence on both decrease in temperature, increase in rainfall potential over the next several days. Here we've got an area of low pressure off the southwest. We've also got another centre over the Humber estuary here, and what that's going to do is, as these features kind of slightly stumble their way eastwards, we're going to open the door to a northerly airflow here. So we are going to bring 850 temperatures, instead of it being plus 10, plus 15 Celsius, it's going to go back below freezing across Scotland here. And as you can see here on Wednesday morning, we have got the zero isotherm at 850 over Scotland here. So any clear skies and light winds, we could see the temperatures fall into low single figures, possibly some frost in some Highland glens on Wednesday morning if conditions are right. And then as we play through the sequence here, it certainly looks as if the GFS is going to keep a bit of a kind of mismatch of weather, quite messy. Notice here across much of the continent, across the UK, across Ireland here, some significant rainfall potential over the next week or so across particularly the north, and even places like Odium, where I think there's been 44 days without rain. We should see some measurable rain here finally. It's been the very end of June by the last time that we've seen rain, recorded rainfall in Odium in Hampshire. So pretty remarkable stuff actually. As we push towards the second half of the week, high pressure builds into the northern half of the British Isles. We've got some disturbed weather across the south. We've also got a northeasterly airflow also here. So bringing the temperature down into the low 20s Wednesday afternoon, as opposed to the mid 30s during Sunday afternoon here. And then as we go towards the end of the week, area of low pressure up near Iceland, where a wet and cool summer it's been here. That feature will move in. Associated frontal system will bring wind and rain across much of Ireland, England, Wales, Scotland, and then we've got a fresh westerly wind coming in off the Atlantic here, and it looks as if the GFS at least is trying to send a few areas of low pressure in off the Atlantic, keeping things relatively unsettled. That's it for today. Hopefully this will upload, and I will hopefully be back again tomorrow with more. Have a great rest of your Monday. Bye for now.